Remember Elvis, the king of rock and roll, captivated hearts around the world with his velvety voice and swoon-worthy performances. But did you know he shared the microphone with some unexpected singing partners? These musical collaborations might have slipped your mind over the years, but they definitely deserve another listen. Number 5. Elvis and Frank Sinatra. The television spectacular that brought two contes together. Did you catch this rare moment in music history? When Elvis Presley returned from his military service in 1960, he made his comeback on television in spectacular fashion. The Frank Sinatra Timex Show, Welcome Home Elvis, featured something viewers never thought they'd see: Old Blue Eyes and the King singing together. The unlikely duo swapped songs in a medley that had Frank belting out Love Me Tender, while Elvis took on Witchcraft. The musical exchange lasted just a few minutes, but it represented a symbolic passing of the torch between two generations of American music icons. Frank, the established king of the charts in the 1940s and early 1950s, was sharing the stage with the young rebel who had transformed popular music forever. Behind the scenes, their relationship was more complex than this friendly duet suggested. Sinatra had previously criticized rock and roll as the most brutal, ugly, desperate, vicious form of expression he had been unfortunate to hear. Yet here they were, sharing the same stage, seemingly enjoying each other's company. The television special aired on May 12, 1960, and became the highest-rated program of the year. Viewers across America tuned in to witness this historical musical moment. The performance showcased Elvis in his classic tuxedo, looking sharper and more polished than his pre-military days, perhaps a strategic move to appeal to Sinatra's more traditional audience. What made this duet truly unforgettable was the cultural significance of seeing two musical titans from different worlds come together. Elvis, the hip-swinging rock and roller who scandalized parents, and Sinatra, the sophisticated crooner beloved by those same parents, found common ground in their mutual respect for showmanship and vocal talent. The arrangement was reportedly worth $125,000 to Elvis, an enormous sum in 1960, making it one of the highest-paid television appearances at that time. Despite the commercial nature of the collaboration, the musical chemistry between them was undeniable. Their voices blended surprisingly well, with Elvis toning down his rock edge and Sinatra injecting a bit more energy into his normally smooth delivery. Though they would never record together in a studio or perform live as a duo again, this brief television moment remains a fascinating glimpse into an alternate universe where the king of rock and the chairman of the board were not rivals, but collaborators. The footage of this performance continues to fascinate music historians and fans alike, serving as a time capsule of a unique cultural crossroads in American entertainment history. Number 4. Elvis and Ann-Margret. The sizzling on-screen chemistry that spilled into real music. Have you ever wondered who could match Elvis's energy on screen and in song? During the filming of Viva Las Vegas in 1964, Elvis Presley met his match in the vivacious Ann-Margret. Their on-screen chemistry was electric, leading to some of the most dynamic musical performances in Elvis's film career. The duo recorded several songs together for the movie, including the title track Viva Las Vegas and the passionate The Lady Loves Me. While the final cut of the film only featured certain duets, studio recordings capture the undeniable spark between these two performers. Their voices complemented each other perfectly, her sultry, vibrant tone playing off his powerful, smooth delivery. What makes these duets particularly interesting is the context in which they were created. Elvis and Ann-Margret were reportedly involved in a romance during filming, adding an extra layer of authenticity to their musical interactions. The way they look at each other while performing speaks volumes about their off-screen relationship. "The Lady Loves Me" shankers their playful rapport, with Elvis confidently pursuing Ann-Margret while she repeatedly rebuffs him with clever lyrics. The song culminates with Ann-Margret's character declaring, "The gentleman's all through," to which Elvis responds, "The lady's full of shish kebab," before she amusingly ends the debate by pushing him into a swimming pool. This theatrical performance perfectly captured their spirited relationship. Colonel Tom Parker, Elvis's controlling manager, was reportedly unhappy about the attention Ann-Margret was receiving and how she potentially overshadowed Elvis in some scenes. This led to some of their duets being reworked as solo performances for the final film, or having Ann-Margret's vocals reduced in the mix. Ann-Margret later revealed in her autobiography that their connection went beyond professional admiration. "We were indeed soulmates, shy on the outside but unbridled within." This emotional connection translated into their musical performances, giving their duets an authenticity that Elvis rarely achieved with other female co-stars. After their relationship ended, Elvis and Ann-Margret remained friends until his death. She was one of the few people from his Hollywood days who attended his funeral in 1977. While their romantic relationship was relatively brief, the musical legacy they created together took a different side of Elvis. One where he shared the spotlight with a woman who matched him in talent and charisma. The rediscovery of these duets in subsequent reissues and expanded editions of the Viva Las Vegas soundtrack has allowed fans to appreciate the genuine musical connection these two stars shared. Their performances stand as a testament to what could have been a more extensive musical partnership had circumstances been different. Number 3. Elvis and Nancy Sinatra. The unexpected movie soundtrack collaboration. Did Frank Sinatra's daughter really sing with the king? Indeed she did. In 1968, Elvis Presley starred in the Western film Speedway opposite Nancy Sinatra, and the pair recorded "There Ain't Nothing Like a Song" for the movie soundtrack. This upbeat, playful duet showcased a different side of Elvis during a period when his movie soundtracks were often criticized for lacking substance. Nancy Sinatra, already established as a successful recording artist with hits like "These Boots Are Made for Walkin'," brought her distinctive vocal style to the collaboration. The contrast between her modern, somewhat edgy delivery and Elvis's more traditional approach created an interesting dynamic that set this duet apart from Elvis's other soundtrack recordings of the era. The recording session took place at MGM Studios in October 1967, during a period when Elvis was becoming increasingly frustrated with the quality of movies and songs his management was selecting for him. Yet when working with Nancy, observers noted that Elvis showed more enthusiasm than he had in many previous soundtrack recording sessions. Behind the scenes, Nancy had grown up hearing her father's earlier criticisms of rock and roll, which had been primarily directed at Elvis and his influence on youth culture. Despite this family history, she and Elvis developed a respectful, professional relationship. Nancy later recalled that Elvis was shy and sweet during their time working together, contradicting his wild public image. The song itself is a light, bouncy number typical of late 60s Elvis movies, not grounding music by any means, but elevated by the genuine effort both performers put into it. Lyrically, it celebrates the joy of singing together, which seems appropriate given the unlikely pairing of these two artists from different musical worlds. In the film, the performance is staged as part of a charity benefit show, with Elvis playing a race car driver and Nancy portraying a tax agent who's been assigned to help him sort out his financial troubles. While the movie received mixed reviews, their musical moment together was highlighted as one of the more enjoyable aspects of the film. What's particularly interesting about this collaboration is how it connected two American musical dynasties. Frank Sinatra had passed the entertainment torch to his daughter, who was now sharing the microphone with the man who had helped reshape popular music in ways that had initially threatened her father's musical dominance. This duet remains a fascinating time capsule of late 60s entertainment, when the old and new guard of American popular music were finding ways to coexist and even collaborate. Though it didn't chart as a hit single, There Ain't Nothing Like a Song represents a unique moment in Elvis's career when he briefly shared his spotlight with the daughter of his former rival and duet partner. Number 2. Elvis and Martina McBride, the posthumous Christmas miracle. Can technology bring back the king for new performances? In 2008, more than 30 years after Elvis Presley's death, country star Martina McBride joined his voice for a remarkable duet of Blue Christmas. Using advanced digital technology, producers created a virtual duet that blended Elvis's original 1957 recording with McBride's newly recorded vocals. The collaboration was part of the Christmas Duets album, which paired Elvis's classic holiday recordings with contemporary country artists. McBride's crystal-clear voice complemented Elvis's deeper tones in a way that made their generational gap disappear. The production team carefully balanced the vocal levels and recording quality to create the illusion that they had performed together in the same studio. What made this particular track stand out was the accompanying music video. Using imitated green screen technology and historical footage, the video showed McBride seemingly performing alongside Elvis on his iconic 1968 Comeback Special set. The visual element added another dimension to this cross-time collaboration, allowing fans to see the two artists interacting as if they were truly performing together. The project received the blessing of Elvis Presley Enterprises and his estate, ensuring that this posthumous collaboration maintained the integrity of his musical legacy. Lisa Marie Presley, Elvis's daughter, expressed support for the project, noting how it introduced her father's music to new generations. Martina McBride brought her own star power to the duet. As a multi-platinum selling artist with numerous country hits to her name, she approached the project with the respect and reverence it deserved. In interviews promoting the album, McBride shared her lifelong admiration for Elvis and the surreal experience of performing with someone she had never met but had always admired. The technical aspects of creating this duet were impressive for 2008. Engineers had to separate Elvis's vocals from the original instrumental tracks, clean up the audio quality to match modern recording standards, and then carefully blend the two performances. The result was so convincing that radio listeners often couldn't tell it was created decades apart. Blue Christmas had always been one of Elvis's most beloved holiday recordings, originally released in 1957 as part of his Elvis's Christmas album. His distinctive interpretation, complete with the famous woo 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 backup vocals by the Jordanaires, had already made it a holiday standard. The duet with McBride introduced this classic to country music fans who might have been more familiar with her work than with Elvis's original recording. The success of this virtual duet opened the door for similar projects with other legendary artists whose voices had been silenced too soon. Technology had created a new way to celebrate musical legacies while creating fresh interpretations of classic songs. For Elvis fans, it was a bittersweet gift, a chance to imagine new performances from the king while acknowledging the reality that he had been gone for decades. Number 1. Elvis and Celine Dion. the technological wonder that brought the king to American Idol. Would Elvis have gone on a TV singing competition? In 2007, television viewers were stunned when Elvis Presley appeared to perform a duet with Celine Dion on the American Idol stage. How was this possible more than 3 decades after his death? The answer was groundbreaking technology and creative production. During the Idol Gives Back charity special, Celine Dion appeared on stage alongside what looked like Elvis himself performing his 1968 hit, If I Can Dream. The performance used footage from Elvis's 1968 comeback special, digitally altered and synchronized to create the illusion that the two superstars were performing together in real time. The production team faced significant technical challenges to make this duet believable. They had to match camera movements, lighting conditions, and even account for the different video qualities between 1968 footage and modern high-definition broadcasting. Elvis's original vocal track was separated from its instrumental backing and remixed to blend with Dion's newly recorded vocals and a live orchestra. Celine Dion, known for her powerful voice and emotional delivery, approached the virtual duet with respect for Elvis's legacy. Rather than attempting to overshadow the king, she complimented his performance, adding harmonies and occasional counterpoint vocals that enhanced the original without fundamentally changing it. The audience reaction was emotional and immediate. Many viewers reported getting chills as they watched this impossible duet unfold on their television screens. Social media, still relatively new in 2007, buzzed with reactions from astonished fans. Some younger viewers, unfamiliar with the technological miracle they were witnessing, even wondered if Elvis was being portrayed by an impersonator. If I Can Dream was a particularly appropriate choice for this duet. Elvis had originally performed it as a response to the turbulent events of 1968, including the assassinations of Martin Luther King Jr. and Robert Kennedy. The song's message of hope and a better world resonated with the charity special's aims to raise money for children's causes both in the United States and Africa. Priscilla Presley, Elvis's ex-wife, gave her blessing to the project and even introduced the performance during the broadcast. She emphasized how Elvis had always been generous with charitable causes during his lifetime and would have supported the mission of Idol Gives Back. The technical team that created this virtual duet won an Emmy Award for Outstanding Technical Direction. Their work pioneered techniques that would later become more common in creating virtual performances with deceased artists. While some critics questioned the ethics of resurrecting performers who couldn't consent to these new appearances, many in the Elvis Presley estate saw it as a way to keep his legacy alive for new generations. For the millions of viewers who witnessed this remarkable television moment, it represented something profound: the timelessness of Elvis's music and presence, his ability to continue moving audiences decades after his death. Though Elvis and Celine never met in real life, Dion was just 9 years old when Elvis died. For those few minutes on the American Idol stage, the boundaries of time and mortality seemed to dissolve in the service of music. Did these forgotten duets change how we remember the king of rock and roll? From spontaneous television moments with Frank Sinatra to technologically created partnerships decades after his death, Elvis's collaborative spirit lives on through these unique musical pairings. Which of these surprising duets will you be searching for next?